Welcome back to another Pokemon Flying Friday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Friday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. And we do also cover any big Pokemon news, like cards are set to get revealed. And we do have to do the question of the day. So for today's question, now that the new Mewtwo from Ascended Heroes, has been out for a little bit and we've, seen the art, which art do you guys think is better? The Mewtwo from Destined Rivals or the Mewtwo from Ascended Heroes? And we do have to announce the winner from my last vetting video. If you guys did not go watch it, please go watch it. That would really mean a ton. And the winner is at Zach Sifferman. So to shoot me an email and hit me up on Instagram, I'll get those cards sent out to you. And we do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Collectr. This app is the best of the best when it comes to tracking your collection. No other app even compares. I have tried every single one of them. And the website is also amazing. I've been using it a ton. They also do more giveaways than anyone in this entire hobby. And they also sponsor so many shows, which really helps a lot of people, do their first shows. So definitely try to support them however you can, and I'll have all the links in the description. And of course, if you're going to grade through PSA for your very first time, you can click my link in the description, use the code BEARD25, and you'll receive $25 off your very first submission, which is basically a free graded card. And I highly recommend grading yourself instead of letting people like GameStop handle your cards. All right, let's get into it. Not a ton of sealed products, but we do have a lot of cards. We're going to be checking basically every single card from Ascended Heroes because 99% of them are coming down in price. So here we have the Destined Rivals booster box. This thing got all the way up to $585. I think we even had a couple sales at like $6, but now last sold $595, $550, $539. Another one at $599, $549, $538, $552. So definitely retracing a little bit. Next, we have the Phantasmal Flames booster box. This kind of did the same thing. It shot up here. Chart's all messed up. There we go. Got up to about $296. Now last sold $265, $298, $281, a bunch at $265, and then a couple at $299 and $250. We can get it shipped right now for $265, shipping included. Next, we have the Charizard EX Premium Collection. I feel like a lot of people forgot about this box. Not too bad. Not the biggest fan of the promo, but this is at $80, and now last sold $55, $72. Someone got 8 of them at $71. Another one at $64. Next, we have some Ascended Heroes products. Now, this is the actual tech sticker collection that is out. So this was at $60, dropped down to $37, went back up to about $43, $44. Now last sold $40, $37. Someone got 12 of them at $38. We got one at $31. Someone got 4 of them at $23. With probably some crazy shipping. Next, we have the ETB. Again, this box is not out yet, and you can find cheaper sales on eBay. It's just nice to see it coming down on TCG Player also. Was at $179, went down to $117, shot back up to about $160. Now last sold $129, $140, $138. All right, let's get to some cards. So here's that new Haunter illustration rare promo. It's just coming down in price a little bit. It got up to $33, just shot up kind of overnight. Now last sold $28, $27, pretty much all at about $28. Next, we have the Thunderous Pokemon Center promo. This thing just keeps dropping in price. Was at $65, and now last sold $19, $20, pretty much all at $20. And same thing with the Tornadus. Literally was at $27, now last sold $18, $17, so $1 or $2 cheaper. Not too bad for Pokemon Center promos, and I do think Black Bolt and White Flare are very, very solid sets. Next, we have the Fluttermane Pokemon Center promo. This was at $50 3 months ago. Now last sold $37, $31, $32, $33. Next, we have the Gold Mega Lucario from Mega Evolution. This thing's just slowly dropping. It was at $671 with 29 items sold. Now last sold $276, $282, $270, $265. And here is the Gold Mega Gardevoir, much cheaper. This was at $613. Now last sold $214, $215, $206, $213, $209, $220. Next, we have the Full Art Mega Charizard X from Phantasmal Flames. This is at $55. Now last sold $32, $34. Next, we have the Gold Mega Charizard X. This got up to about $390-something. And we got a sale here at $360, $250, $250, $250, $380, $349. $345, $357. So kind of all over the place. We can get it shipped right now for $382. And here is the SIR. We know how expensive it was, like $1,000, but it got up to about $646 a couple days ago. Look at the newest sale, $850. Wow. Before that, $614, $499, $613, $500, $500, $620, 650, 654, 618. So again, kind of just all over the place. We can get it shipped for about $614 or $15 from a legit seller. So much cheaper than the $645 it was at. All right, getting into Ascended Heroes. So like I said, we're going to be checking almost every single card. I skipped a couple of the illustration rares because I kind of ran out of room. So here's the Mega Attack rares. So we got the Mega Electros here at $11, the Scrafty at $11, Hawlucha $14, Deontay $15, Frostless $20, Dragonite $61, and the Mega Gengar $73. I'm going to click on the Gengar. This is definitely the most popular one. I think it is very cool. Definitely one of the cooler full arts we've gotten. I mean, it could almost be seen as like a weird special illustration rare. Like, it's pretty cool. This is at $108. Now, last sold 66, 71, 67. But I'm going to guess these are all going to be under $50. Like, I have a feeling Gengar will be right around $50. All right, next we're getting into some illustration rares. We got the Hitmontop. This was at $24. Now last sold 11, 12, 10. And the ones that I did skip were the really, really cheap ones. So there's a bunch now that are at $6, $7, and $8. Next, we got the Mischievous. Again, this is at $25. Now last sold 9, 12, 11, 13. Next, we have the Weavile. Love this card. This is probably my second favorite art in the set out of the illustration rares. This thing is epic. Was at 15. Now last sold 12, 13, one at 16, one at 11. And we have the Banette, another crazy, crazy card. I actually seen this one in person yesterday, and I love how much detail is in this card, how many different Pokemon are in here. It is crazy. And the color is very nice. Was at 25. Now last sold 16, 13, 14. And we have the Team Rocket's Dugtrio. I like the angle. I think this art is very, very solid. This is at $25, just like most of them. Now last sold 14, 17, 13. And we have the Score Bunny. I feel like this is a card no one's really talking about. I like how they got some starters in there. This is at 19. And we got a sale at 17, 15, 16, 12. Next, we have the Ethan's Magcargo. This is my favorite art of the illustration rares. To me, it's just the cleanest, looking the most realistic. This is at $30. And now last sold 14, 15, 16. And we have the Iona's Wattrel. This was a Japanese exclusive for a while. This is at $21. Went down to 19, and it's literally up like 50 cents. All last sold went around $19.50 to about $21. And then we have the Meryl. Pretty cool art. This was at $30. Now last sold 24, 23, 22, 21, a couple at 15. And we have the Cynthia Spirit Tomb. This was at $26. Got down to 20, and again up like 50 cents. Now last sold 17, 21, 21, 24, 19, 18. And the Dracloak. So this was at $40. Now last sold 25, 23, 22. And here's the Badoo. This was all the way up at $35. And now last sold 23, 24, 22. And we have the Dreepy. Pretty unique art. Was at $45. Now last sold 24, 21, 22, 23. And we're getting to some of the bigger ones. We got the Erica's Tangela here. This is at $33. This one's already bouncing back a couple dollars. Now last sold 31, 28, 27, 34. And the Team Rocket's Mimikyu. This card is epic. And Mimikyu is definitely one of the most popular Pokemon in the world right now. So I could definitely see this card, you know, doing some crazy stuff. Maybe getting down to $20 and then like shooting back up to $40, $50, honestly. Especially with the big R there. You got another R in the back. I mean, just screams Team Rocket plus Mimikyu. It's pretty epic. This was at 37. Now last sold 30, 31, 34, 33, 39. Next, we have the most expensive illustration rare, the Psyduck. This is at $96, went down to about $93, went up to $95, and now last sold $79, $89, $87, $83, $82. Another one at $80 with a picture. Japanese is selling for around $31. Now we are jumping to some special illustration rares. We got every single special illustration rare on the list. This is that Surfer card. This was all the way at $99. Now last sold $34, $27, $28, $26. Next, we have the Mega Electros. Kind of a crazy art lot going on in this one. This was at $82. Now last sold $48, $47, $65. And I've been checking on eBay also, and they're finally starting to kind of level out. You know, before TCG player prices were so much higher than they were on eBay, but you can still find them definitely cheaper on eBay still, but it's much, much closer. Next, we have the Iris's Fighting Spirit. This might be one of my favorite special illustration rare trainers. To me, this is just epic. Looks like they're ready for battle. This is at $140. Now that's sold $53, $58, $60. And I love the trainers where they actually have Pokemon in them. I currently do not collect special illustration rare trainers, but once I'm done collecting all the illustration rares and special illustration rare Pokemon, I'm going to go back and collect all the special illustration rare trainers that have Pokemon in the cards. I think that would look super, super clean, you know, a few pages of just all trainers with just a ton of Pokemon in all the cards. Next, we have the Mega Scrafty. This was at $99. Now last sold $68, $69, $67, $70. Then we have the Canary. I actually want to see this card in person because there's so much going on. I mean, it's just at a weird angle and everything. So that's definitely one I got to see. This is at $117. Now last sold $73, $70, $71, $74, $90. But that was a few days ago. Next, we have the Mega Embor EX. This was at $117. Now we got to sell at $80, $75. One with a picture at $99. A couple more at $95. And we have the Mega Hawlucha at $117. And we got a sale here at $93, $94, $89, $90. Not a ton of sales yet because people are finally learning to not buy these cards, especially on TCG Player right away with no pictures. That is not smart. Next, we got the Mega Frostless EX. Was at $154. I just love these snow scenes, especially from being up north. I mean, that is just beautiful. And I think Frostless actually has one of the best Megas. So last sold now $75, $77, $72, $82. Next, we have the Mega Meganium. Haven't really got a super close look at this art yet. That's another one I want to see in person too. Haven't seen a ton of these yet, as the set just came out. This is at $150. Now last sold $110, $106, $107, $95, $98. Next, we have the Stevens Metagross. This is at $125. Now last sold $112, $115, $109, $125, $100 with a picture, $120 with a picture. Super cool card though. I think this is definitely one of my top 3 favorite SIRs in the set. It's just so clean. Next, we got the Mega Diancie EX. This is at $216. Wow. Now that's sold $80, $70, $90, $97, $95. And the Marnie's Grimmsnarl. It's kind of wild how many cards we've gotten in the last couple of years for Marnie, Cynthia, and Lily. They just keep pumping those out. This is at $176. Now we got to sell at $101, $102, $107. And we have the Iono's Belly Bolt. Same with Iono. Ton of Iono cards. This is at $160. Now last sold $114, $132, and $137. And the Pheasantipity. Now, these Pokemon are not my favorite. I don't hate them. And, I mean, the storyline was great in the game. But this card is absolutely beautiful. Mrs. Beard is obsessed. This is at $163. And we got a sale now at $128, $134, $155, $149. Again, we're literally only getting a couple sales a day. Next, we have the Enzorock. Now, this is one of the only cards that's going up in price. This is at $163. Now, that sold $170, $175, $190. So, that's kind of cool. And we have the Mega Feraligatr EX. This is at $236. We got a sale now at $165, $170, $185, and $190. And the Lily's Clefairy. I love that blue background. I mean, the card is super, super clean. This is at $272. We got a sale at $225, $250, $245. And here is the Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX. Was at $350. Now we got a sale at $335, $325, and $299. And here is the Pink Pikachu EX. This was at $404. We now got a sale at $365, $370, and then, it goes a few days without a sale and jumps back up to $440. Next, my favorite SIR in the entire set, the other Pikachu EX, and it's holding its value really good. We got a sale at $500, $632, and $499. I just think it is so clean. And here's the Mega Dragonite. This is my second favorite SIR in the entire set, and then I think it goes Stevens Metagross after that. But I love that Dragonair is in this card, of course. Was at $465, now last sold $550, $430, $650 with a picture, $575 with a picture, $614 with a picture. So if people can see the card, they're going to pay a little bit more, especially if it has a chance at a 10. And we have the Mega Gengar EX. This is going to be in my 4th spot for my favorite SIRs. This was my favorite SIR originally, but the more I look at the other ones, I like them just a hair more. And of course, they're all amazing. This was at $975. Now we got a sale at $931, $927, $888, $945. I've heard people say they do not like this card. They say it looks just like a full art, but I've never seen a full art look like that. And we have the Gold Mega Dragonite EX. This was at $522. We got a sale at $437 and $495 before that. I have a feeling these cards are going to be very, very tough to pull and be very, very rare. Now, I haven't been collecting the new gold cards, but I got to collect this one because it's got a gold Dragonair right there. So I have to get this card for my Dragonair collection. Because I do also collect Dragonite, and I have pretty much every single English Dragonite, because I love how the Dragonair is in the top left. But just having it gold like that, I think that's cool, and I think it'll look super cool in the Dragonair binder. And last on the list, we have the Gold Mega Charizard Y EX. This is at $626, now that's sold $625, $690, $726, and $630 with a picture. So on that whole list, I think we only had maybe 4 or 5 cards that were not going straight down in price. But I really feel like a lot of these cards are definitely going to be bouncing back, you know, but we still got a lot of products to come out. I mean, a lot of people haven't even gotten their ETBs or anything yet. So we'll get a ton of more cards on the market. Prices will definitely come down, probably cut in half. And then I think a good like maybe 10 or 15 cards are all going to bounce back with this set, especially since the pull rates are pretty tough and it's such a big set. But all right, that was today's Pokemon Find Friday. If you guys want to stay ahead of the market and you guys like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook, YouTube membership, all that. You guys know what to do. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. If you guys want to watch my last vending video, click this one right here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.